Hi, Charles here. Well, tomorrow we're leaving for a 12-day trip down to Tennessee to the Adventure Van Expo. So we're doing a few last things, and Susie's kind of busy back there, and I'll tell you what she's doing in just a second. Thanks for watching. So Susie's in the house. She'll be back in a minute, but she'll tell you what we're doing there. I'll go ahead and tell you about it. That cabinet, once, twice, maybe 3 times, the drawer came flying out until we finally found a way to keep it in there. But on the last accident, it basically fell apart. So Susie put it back together. But on the last trip, especially the Colorado, Utah, and one before that, I think we've been fighting it. It just sticks, and we called up Home Depot, and you can't just buy the drawer. It's aggravating, but I kind of understand. It's $126 for this, and so we just went and bought a new one last night. Now you might think, well, that's kind of frivolous. Well, we've swapped out. We put in a new drawer. Are you happy with the new drawer, Mrs. Moman?
I am. It's beautiful.
It just closes. The other one wouldn't do that. You had to fight it. She just put the child lock on it. She painted it last night, so it's all good. So what we're doing is we're putting the cattywampus drawer back in the new cabinet, and it's either going to get used here or in the basement. So it's not like we just bought a drawer and we're going to throw everything away. So we're not being wasteful. And I'll show you up here. It's nothing really dramatic, but I'll show you how I finalized the Rome storage box, which we really love. It's really helping so much. And what else are we changing? The chairs.
Yeah, no chairs.
The chairs stood back in here, and you close the door, and then you forget and open up, and they come falling out. They're really nice Cabela camp chairs, but I could see us maybe if we're camping locally, but we found that we just didn't use them. If we were at the van, we were sitting in here. And then we have a small little seat, and Susie couldn't find it, so I ordered a 2-pack. It's coming today from Amazon, and then she found it. So anyway, we're going to bring those little chairs because they can fit in, or probably, and I know in a box here, but maybe even up there. So that's really it. Oh, I did get another Ecoflow unit. I told Ecoflow that I thought that their Delta Max would be maybe the sweet spot for people like us with a camper van. I told them their Delta Pro was too big, and it is. It would not fit in here. It's got a handle and wheels. It's more like for home use, I see it, or as a big. I suppose if you had a typical garage, that I would say 75% of van builders build a garage, you could fit it in. What's the advantage? Well, now I've got 2 Delta 1300s and the Delta Max. The Delta 1300s are actually 12 something watt hours, amp hours, and I always get those terms confused. And then the new Delta Max that they sent me is a little over 2,000. So it's not double the Deltas, but so I've got basically the equivalent of 400 amp hour Battle-Born batteries, which is what more and more people are putting into camper vans or RVs. The advantage with those is they're locked in, they're installed, but you got to have the charge controller, inverter, and all that kind of stuff. With these, I just set them in, and so I think I'm charging up the Max, but it will barely fit in here. But I think I'm going to take part of a partition out and turn it this way, and that's probably all we're going to need on this trip. But I think I'm going to go ahead and bring all 3 Deltas with us, and I have a River Pro and a River Max, but those definitely are coming on this trip. But I think I'm going to bring those just to kind of show at the Van Expo. So we're getting ready for that. I made some signs to put up about things because we'll be in that DIY contest, which, like I mentioned before, we don't plan that we're going to win any big prizes or anything, but it'll just be kind of fun to show it. And so I think that's really about it. I've just been trying to get all my information together. I print out some sheets explaining what all we use in this van build, and things like this strap. I know people are going to want to know where I got that, and they're going to want to know the part number for the molding that I put on the cargo side. So other than that, I think we're going to go to Walmart and get some frozen entrees, which is our go-to meal anymore, unless it's like fresh salads that we buy at Walmart or someplace. And so we'll have that for I'll get the fridge going tonight, and then we'll put everything in, and we're going to be leaving, I think, tomorrow sometime. And I think that's kind of it. So let me go up and show you a little bit up there. That's all will be in this video. Are you ready for this trip?
I will be.
Yeah, and it's getting easier, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's kind of like with the runaway camper. Trip after trip, things got a little easier, and so now especially since the weather's not going to be so radically different in temperatures. I think the warmest we're going to get is mid-80s, but most of the time it's going to be in the 70s. And I don't even know if it's going to be in the 50s at night, so it won't be bad. So, alrighty, that's it. You're doing a great job. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Let's go upstairs. So here we have our Rome storage box. This is the 83 liter, and you can see here and then over here. That's where I ran self-drilling bolt screws through, so they're going through the 80-20 aluminum and into the wood, and then I've got a lot of silicone, so that's going to hold it really well. And then put this down. It's holding a lot of stuff for us. And then you can see I've got the straps, 2 front, back, and then 1 on each end. And it occurred to me that somebody could just take a knife and cut those real quickly, so I think the 2 bolts will be enough. And also ran some bolts with a fender washer and bolts and nuts underneath that I can reach and real quickly take off the recovery board if I need to. So pretty much done up here now. Well, there's a little update. Here's the new Ecoflow Delta Max. They also have they just came out with the Delta Mini, and then they've got much bigger ones, but I think this is probably about the biggest one I could possibly use here. So right now I'm going to see if I need to change anything inside the box to fit these all in. So as I said before, this is equivalent to 4 100 amp hour batteries, more than enough. And especially this trip to Tennessee, we're going to have power a lot of the time except at the Van Expo. So we probably could get by with just one of the smaller Delta 1300s, but I'm going to bring them all just so I can show them at the Van Expo how you can run something like this without the standard install that people do with charge controllers, inverters, and all that. So I'll show you that when we get back from our trip, and thanks for watching.